So, it's Media Monday, and my camera is, hold on. Yeah. Hi. The background is a little bit more thingy. I just watched Pushing Daisies, and so I think I should talk about that. It was cancelled, and it was cancelled very prematurely, meaning that it was cancelled when there were all of these loose ends, and it just abruptly ended, and so viewers were left not knowing all of these, having all of these questions and not knowing how everything got resolved. So it's probably the ultimate torture from any television show I've ever seen. It's really frustrating. But I made up an ending for how I thought it would end when it ended, because I, like a lot of my friends, needed to know, so I kind of tried to piece things together as best as I could and figure out what the answers were, but we're never gonna know. The only person who knows probably is Brian Fuller, and he's not gonna tell everybody. It might get turned into a movie or something, which would be pretty cool. But I think the time has come and passed because it's been so many years now, which is really tragic. But yes, it's about a guy named Ned, and he owns a pie shop called the Pie Hole. And he finds out at a really early age that he has a gift. He can bring people and animals, he can bring things back from the dead by touching them. But there are a few rules about that. He can only bring them back for a minute, and if he goes over the minute, something else in the immediate vicinity dies. And if he touches the thing that he touched back to life again, it dies, and it dies forever. And he finds this out the hard way because he brings his mother back to life, and he keeps her alive. And because he brought his mother back to life, he kills his best friend, Charlotte Charles's father, because they live across the street. And then his mother kisses him goodnight, and she dies too. So it's really sad. A bunch of people die because of Ned. And he can bring people back to life, but for only a limited amount of time. But this girl, Charlotte Charles, that he calls Chuck, he's in love with. And they share one kiss. And then he doesn't see her again until she is murdered on a cruise ship. And he goes to the coroner and brings her back to life to ask her what happened. But because he loves her so much, he can't touch her again. He doesn't want to let her die forever. So he's keeping her alive, and because he keeps her alive, somebody else dies, and she becomes sort of his sidekick type person, because they're helping this PI solve murder mysteries. But he cannot touch her, so he's with the woman that he loves, but he cannot touch her, because if he touches her again, she'll be dead forever. So it's really, really, really sad, and it's kind of like a Pyramus and Thisbe sort of thing, where there's something between them keeping them apart. They can love each other, and they can look at each other, and they can, if they put on bee suits, like beekeeping suits, they can hug and stuff, but they can't ever touch. And he brought his dog back to life, so his dog Digby he also can never touch again, which is torture, because it's like a really lovey dog, and it's hard to not pet a dog. So he's really a tortured soul, is that he's surrounded by death and has to be very careful touching things. So he spends a lot of the show walking around with his hands in his pockets and very tense and not being able to do things because he knows that if he touches the wrong person, he could either bring them to life or kill them. So it's a really, really good show, and it's got Kristen Chenoweth as well. She works at the Pie Hole with him, and she has a massive crush on him. And it's really well written, and it's very fantastical and colorful and happy. Despite being about death, it's a very cheerful show, and it's a comedy. So I definitely recommend, and I've talked about it before, but I definitely think that you should check it out if you have not seen it. I've previously done a video where I'm watching it, but I haven't done a video where I've really described what it's about, so I thought that since it's Media Monday, I'll go ahead and do that. Check out Pushing Daisies if you have not, and if you have, and you have a comment that you want to make on it, you can put it in my pants. And I will see you on Wednesday with a random video about something random. Bye!